From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Good morning to you and welcome to Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Megan Shin. It's 5 o'clock here on your Tuesday morning.
And I'm Rafael Sanchez, and these are your headlines on this February the 2nd. There's more than $1 trillion in student loans across the country, and the pandemic is making it harder for people to pay that money back. Working for you this morning, what the government is now doing to help.
The pandemic is also impacting our oral health. We'll show you the issues dentists are now seeing and why.
And many young Hoosiers are setting out on their first job search. How a local program is helping them find the right career path.
And thanks for joining us on this Tuesday morning. Let's get straight to your weather forecast with Todd Kloss. And Todd, I understand we'll see a little sun this morning, but ooh.
Yeah, you know, a little bit of sunshine. That's probably the best opportunity here this morning to see the sunshine, and then the clouds will kind of gather back in. Tomorrow, though, will be the best day of the week, I think, weather-wise, with more in the way of sunshine and warmer temperatures. So that's something at least to look forward to. But by February standards, today's not a bad day. Visibility, not an issue. No snow showers out there this morning. That's good news as you get going. Temperatures here are in the 20s, 22 in Indy, 26 in Lafayette, 23 is the current temperature right now in Bloomington. Still a little bit of a breeze out there, and that is putting wind chill values in the single digits in some locations, and also down into the teens in almost all locations. A little bit of cloud cover here in western portions of the state, but overall to our west it's pretty quiet. Everything you see here to the east, that will not impact us. So today some sunshine to start, then becoming mostly cloudy, but temperatures today should get up to right around the freezing mark once again across the area, but no precipitation in the forecast on this Tuesday. We'll talk more about your Wednesday and beyond coming up in just a few minutes. Lauren.
Todd, thanks. Let's take a look at your commute this morning. Here is a live look from our INDOT traffic camera out in Hancock County. Good morning to you. I-70 here, a view a little east of State Road 9 in Greenfield. You can see traffic there looks to be moving along up to speed both eastbound and westbound. We're keeping a close eye on your commute. We'll let you know if there are any major trouble spots or issues you should avoid this Tuesday morning. Megan?
Lauren, now to the latest on COVID-19. Indiana is continuing to see lower numbers of new cases. Monday's numbers mark the second day in a row the state has reported less than 2,000 cases. More than 628,000 total cases have been reported since the pandemic began. 16 more Hoosiers have also died with the virus, bringing Indiana's death toll to 9,613.
On this Tuesday, we have another huge number, $1.7 trillion. Trillion dollars. That's roughly the amount, Lauren, of the outstanding federal student loan debt right here in our country. A big number.
And WRTV's Kelsey Anderson joins us now with what the government is doing and how that impacts our payments.
Whether your federal student loan debt is enough to buy a small house or a small SUV, those payments and interest have been put on pause for the last 10 months, and that will continue through September. On top of the federal student loan pause, President Biden is expected to call on Congress to forgive $10,000 for all federal student loan borrowers, a simplification of what he promised while on the campaign trail. I spoke to two people who have student loan debt with differing opinions on the proposed forgiveness.
The student loan forgiveness, I think the idea is good. I don't think in principle or in practice it's good enough. So there's a lot of ways that this student loan forgiveness, it doesn't go far enough. It's the first step in my eyes.
We look at these individuals that are going to college. Some of them not necessarily chose the right path in college. Some of them I know have incurred additional expenses in college that shouldn't be put on the taxpayers. Frivolous spending.
Now, both Karen and Wheatley agree that changes need to start in high school with planning for college and future career, and changes also need to happen with college institutions with tuition prices and required courses. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. Now, working for you, we do want to give you an idea of what the current tuition situation looks like across the state of Indiana. So Purdue University has frozen their tuition rates for the past 10 years now. In-state undergrad tuition comes in at about $10,000. At Indiana University, tuition is about $11,000 per academic year. At Ball State, tuition is about $8,000, and at IUPUI, tuition is about $10,000 per year. At a private school like Butler University, tuition tuition is around $42,000 per year. Now, it's important to note that these are just the tuition numbers. They do not include things like room and board. Megan.
Lauren, more funding has been approved to help more people in Marion County with their rent. Last night, the City County Council unanimously passed a proposal. It approves using $29 million in federal money for rental assistance. Officials are now working to make sure the Indy Rent Assistance portal and application system is in compliance with federal guidelines. The council also approved up to $10 million for local Paycheck Protection Program loans. Lauren?
And Megan, Indiana lawmakers are debating doubling the state's cigarette tax. A proposal discussed by Indiana House Committee would add $1 to the state's current 99.5-cent per pack cigarette tax. This would be the first time that the tax has been increased since the year 2007 and has backing from many health organizations as a way to discourage smoking and reduce the state's high smoking rate. The bill would also add a new state 39% tax on vaping liquids. Lawmakers are now debating where the additional revenue would go. A vote on this bill was delayed and it could come next week. We'll keep you updated.
Stress from the pandemic could be taking a major toll on your oral health. A local dentist tells us she has seen about a 60% increase in patients with either cracked teeth, clenching, or jaw pain. She says often when people experience stress, they clench or they grind their teeth, and that can lead to major issues down the line if not treated properly. She's been prescribing more day and night guards to patients and says it's important that everyone continues to go to their regular dental exams.
A lot of times there can be things going on in your mouth that are causing problems that you can't feel yet.
To keep people safe and prevent the spread of COVID-19 in the office, Dr. Williams says they use a cold fogger between procedures you see there and a medical UV light tower in exam rooms. She also says they have a hospital-grade air filtration system to keep all patients safe.
Hiring Hoosiers is our initiative to connect you with open jobs right now. And thousands of Hoosiers are looking for a job during the pandemic, and one program is stepping in to help. WRTV's Troy Washington explains how a program called Yes Indy is giving young people the chance to find their passion. Good morning, Troy.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, this program is downright life-changing for some, especially considering all the struggles a lot of people are going through right now during this pandemic. Now, this program, it's geared towards those who are age 16 through 24, and it's very life-changing. It can help so many people right now.
You may not know where you're going to go, but you know your passion, you know you want to do something different, and then it's up to us to help you navigate your way.
Now, this is a part of the city's employee program. Later on in the show, we'll introduce you to a man who has found his way and found a new career thanks to this program. Reporting live downtown, I'm Troy Washington, WRTV.
All right, as you walk out the door here this morning and you're heading off to work, thankfully you don't have to deal with any snow showers across the area as it's pretty quiet with skies that are partly to mostly clear across the area. However, it is chilly. Temperatures are sitting in the 20s right now. Wind chill values are down in the single digits and in the teens, and that's where we stay as you head to work. As you go to work, the best opportunity for some sunshine. As you come home from work, we're going to start to build in the clouds once again, although we are not expecting any precipitation in the forecast. That is the good news. With high temperatures, once again, just getting up to right around the freezing mark. Now, the talk of the town is going to be the temperatures over the course of the next couple days as we get warm up heading into Thursday, but then a big time push of a very cold air. In fact, the last time we were below zero in Indianapolis, you have to go back 732 days. Obviously, that'll be 733 as we go throughout the day today. But by the time we get to Sunday morning, actual temperatures could be below freezing. And with the wind chills, even colder than that. More on the blast of cold air heading our way coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you. So an Indianapolis mother is calling on the community to help get a killer off the streets. Coming up, her message as she seeks justice for her son. Raphael?
And a massive winter storm, Lauren, continues to make its way up the East Coast. This is a big one. How some areas are holding up this morning after seeing multiple feet of snow. That story and much more coming up right here on Good Morning, Indiana.
The car you want, the way you want.
Searching for her son's killer. It's a situation that too many Indianapolis mothers find themselves in. One mother is now sharing her pain in hopes that it leads to justice.
It's torture. It's absolute torture. And the fact that somebody would take him in broad daylight is unfathomable. And if they do it to my child, they'll do it again.
Someone shot and killed Loretta Hyder's 19-year-old son, Cameron Turner, in November of last year. It was 2 weeks before his birthday. It happened at 12:30 in the afternoon on Tuxedo Street near 13th Street on the east side of Indianapolis. Hyder is calling on the community to help get the killer off the street.
When it's your family, you want them to talk. So that's all I ask. Look at my son and realize that it could be your child. Broad daylight. It wasn't as if he was somewhere that he shouldn't be. He was around by a friend's house. It wasn't as if it was midnight or 2 o'clock in the morning. It was 12:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday. He's minding his own business. I am extremely destroyed inside. And I just need a little help, just from one person. All I need is that one person to say something that can change this entire case and be able to help my family.
A mother's raw emotion with a plea to you to help. Hyder stressed that she wants her son's killer caught, not just for herself, but so that they cannot hurt anyone else in the future.
Well, Raphael, it is 5/16 and it's Groundhog Day, and soon we'll find out what Punxsutawney Phil is predicting for this winter. But for now, parts of the country are getting pounded with a massive snowstorm. We know 12 states along the East Coast are in a winter weather advisory right now, Megan, as nor'easter continues to push through.
That's right. Some areas are already seeing up to 3 feet of snow. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest.
This morning, a state of emergency across much of the Northeast as a slow-moving monster storm buries the region. Some areas receiving up to 3 feet of snow. In New Jersey, cement trucks have been outfitted with plows to help keep up with snow removal.
Do not go out. And if you're out right now and you don't need to be out, safely find your way home, lock the door, sit on the couch, and stay home until further notice.
Drivers also finding streets submerged in Queens, New York.
It's not over. We got a long way to go. Stay off the streets.
In Connecticut, a dramatic rescue after police say a driver doing donuts lost control of his truck, sliding into the water. The 2 people inside pulled to safety. At the airports in the region, more than 1,600 flights canceled. ABC's Gio Benitez earlier at JFK Airport.
We are feeling some very strong wind gusts here at JFK Airport, and you can just see that runway packed with snow. Nearly every flight canceled today here in the New York area, more canceled tomorrow, and that also may affect cargo flights carrying vaccines.
In the meantime, other people having fun in the winter wonderland. Those famous rocky steps at the Art Museum in Philadelphia turned into a sledding hill. This snow-covered dog needing some warmth, but that well-known naked cowboy in Times Square not missing a beat. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
All right, nothing like having to follow the naked cowboy prancing around in the snow in New York City. I'm going to get a picture on the air that my sister sent to me in North Jersey of the kids in the driveway in the snow piles. They've had a little over 20 inches, and that was at 8 p.m. last night. And it's still snowing there, but massive, massive storm system there up and down the East Coast. Here in central Indiana, finally quiet across the area. We had those pesky snow showers, kind of came to an end yesterday morning, but yesterday we didn't get into any sunshine. That didn't really help to melt the snow all that much. Today, I think at least there's a little bit of sunshine here this morning, but it is cold. 16 in Kokomo, 21 in Bloomington, 22 is the current temperature in Indy right now. You factor in the wind and it feels like it's in the single digits to 12 degrees in Indy, 8 feels like right now up in Lafayette. Your temperatures here throughout the course of the day today are going to stay in the 20s throughout the morning hours, and then eventually we should climb up into the low 30s here later on this afternoon, but you don't have to worry about any snow or rain for that matter. Just a little bit of high thin cloud cover there on the western side of the state. Here is the storm system. The wind is probably the bigger issue here currently than the snow. Yes, there is some snow still from New England back down into central Pennsylvania, but the winds really were kicking up last night, and that'll continue to be an issue with the heavy snow and the winds. There could be some power outages and obviously trees down there in the northeast. And as Gio mentioned, make sure you check your flights. Almost all of them canceled yesterday if you're heading to the northeast, and probably not going to be easy getting around here today either. Here are your highs for the day today. Locally, we're going to be right around freezing in northern locations, 32 in Indy, 34 Shelbyville over towards the Martinsville area, and 34 in Bedford as well. And that's just a couple degrees below normal. This evening, if you have plans, temperatures will be sitting in the 20s. And then as you wake up tomorrow morning, we're sitting right around 23, 24 degrees once again with mostly cloudy skies. Now tomorrow, we are going to have temperatures that get probably about 35, 38 degrees. Tomorrow features the most sunshine for us as we go throughout this entire week. And then once we get towards the weekend, there's going to be an Arctic blast that is going to be heading our way. High temperatures by the time we get into Sunday and Monday, probably only going to be in the single digits to low teens across the area. But let me show you wind chill values. This is jumping ahead, I know, but I want to prepare you because it's going to be pretty brutal out there. Sunday morning at 9 a.m., wind chill values anywhere from minus 16 to about minus 30, and that's where it stays throughout much of the day on a Sunday. So wind chills on Sunday are going to be absolutely brutal. It'll kind of relax a little bit as we head into the day on Monday, but obviously when we're talking about wind chill values as cold as minus 15 to minus 20 degrees still, it's very, very dangerous. So kind of prepare yourself for that blast of cold air, but we do have 2 decent days here to get through before we get that rain in here on Thursday. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at your commute as you're heading out on the roads this Tuesday. This is I-70 out in the Plainfield area near State Road 267. You can see traffic there is moving along up to speed both eastbound and westbound. No delays to slow you down through this spot. Of course, we'll keep a close eye on those roads throughout your commute. We'll keep you updated on any issues. Megan?
Lauren, the Purdue men's basketball team finally arrived in Baltimore overnight after they experienced mechanical issues with their plane. The team's chartered flight left Purdue Airport and got to Ohio when they had to turn around and make an emergency landing in Indianapolis. They were then given a new plane to take them to the Baltimore area. Purdue's men's basketball team posted on Twitter around midnight saying they had landed safely and they thanked their fans for the well wishes. The Boilermakers are scheduled to play the Maryland Terrapins tonight at 6:30. Raphael?
Go Boilers, boiler up. Good luck to them. You've probably seen them, of course, people posing with their pictures after getting their COVID-19 vaccine. I'm going to do that once I get to roll up, but in the meantime, health officials say the pictures can help spread awareness about safety and stomp out all of that misinformation. The pictures are so popular that the hashtag "Are you vaccinated?" is now trending on social media. Now, here's a reminder, though. The Better Business Bureau says not to post a picture of your vaccination card. And that's because the card includes information like your full name, your birthday, and where you got the vaccine. Instead, the BBB recommends just posting the vaccine sticker instead with your picture. Lauren?
Raphael, despite losing in the playoffs, one Bills fan is still celebrating his team. We'll take a look at his incredible snow sculpture tribute just after the break. Stick around.
.com.
Welcome back. Even though they didn't make the Super Bowl, a Buffalo Bills fan is proudly showing support for his favorite team with a giant snow sculpture. Raphael.
And Megan, I have a hard time just making a nice round snowball, so take a look at this out in Western New York. Eric Jones is a sculptor in Western New York, and he finished this new piece featuring quarterback Josh Allen and wide receiver Stephon Diggs. Jones said it only took him, 3 days to make. He had plenty of snow. That's amazing. And even though the Bills lost to the Chiefs, he still wanted to say thank you to the team, the Bills Mafia, and to all the fans. Talk lots of that. And Megan, amazing. Wow. But I don't want that much snow, though. I mean, I think the snow always looks more beautiful somewhere else. So good for them. I'm glad Western New York got it. All right, Bills. Okay.
That's a lot of work, though. I have been to a Colts game in Buffalo, and those fans in Buffalo, they are diehard, Raphael. There is no doubt about that. All right, I want to show you your 7-day planning forecast here. And you know, today's kind of a quiet day. It's chilly on this Groundhog Day. We start off with a little bit of sunshine. You bring some cloud cover in 32 degrees. Tomorrow, not bad, 34. Not bad by February standards, that is. Mostly sunny skies. A little rain on Thursday. And then we get to the weekend with an Arctic blast of air. As that colder air comes in, there could be some snow showers as well. But frigid temperatures, especially as we head into the overnight hours, both Sunday and into Monday. We'll talk more about your extended forecast here coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
Day at 10 on WRTV. From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Federal student loan payments are on hold through September. Now at 5:30, we talk to experts about how to make the most of the temporary relief and what's next.
And turning passion into a plan. How one local organization is helping young Hoosiers enter the workforce.
Happy Tuesday, and thanks for joining us for Good Morning Indiana. I'm Megan Shin, joined by Lauren Casey and Rafael Sanchez, of course. But let's get started with your weather. Todd, I saw those weekend temperatures look to be in possibly the double digits.
Yeah, you know, usually you're looking forward to the weekend, right, man? Maybe not so much this weekend, but hey, you can sleep in and just stay inside with these temperatures that will be heading our way. But several days before we get there, and as we work through the forecast before we get to the weekend, we actually do have some sunshine in the forecast, and it includes a little bit here this morning. That's why I checked the sunglasses off here with what you need to grab before you go. Obviously, the coat, hat, and gloves all required this morning with temperatures that are in the teens and 20s. Wind chills in some areas across central Indiana currently in the single digits. 22 is the real temperature in Indy right now, 23 in Bloomington. The good news is no precipitation in the forecast. Hopefully some of the sunshine here this morning can melt a little bit of that snow that we have out there before the clouds come back in later on this afternoon. As high temperatures today, they'll be topping off right around 32 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on traffic this morning as you're heading out on the roads. Here's a look right now at I-65 out in Hendricks County. You can see the traffic there to our northwest is moving along northbound and southbound up to speed. No major problems in that area to slow you down. We are keeping a close eye on some construction in the downtown area, and it sounds like we also have a crash right now at the North Split. We're going to get that up on a camera for you. Hopefully this morning we'll keep you updated. But as you're traveling through the North Split, just be aware that we may have some slowdowns in that area. And of course, we'll keep you posted. Megan.
Lauren, thank you. And this morning, more financial help is on the way for Marion County residents. Last night, the City County Council approved Mayor Joe Hogsett's request to allocate additional COVID-19 relief funds. Nearly $29 million will be allocated towards rental assistance. The additional funds more than doubles the program that has already helped nearly 16,000 Marion County households. Up to $10 million will go towards local Paycheck Protection Program loans. Also, Federal Emergency Management Agency public assistance will receive $3.7 million. That money will be used for pandemic-related expenses, paying for things including overtime, PPE, cleaning services, and more. Raphael.
On this Tuesday, good morning to Kokomo, Anderson, and Muncie. And we're now taking a look at the latest data from the State Department of Health this morning. Our 7-day positivity rate of new COVID-19 cases continues to drop, which is the good news. Health officials report just over 1,700 new cases of the virus. That's the lowest number of new cases we've seen since last Sunday. To date, 628,391 Hoosiers have tested positive for COVID-19. Health officials also report 16 new COVID-related deaths, those occurring between January the 27th and January the 31st. Since March, 9,613 Hoosiers have died with the virus. And this morning, health officials say an additional 5,800 Hoosiers have received both doses of the vaccine. That means now more than 143,000 Hoosiers have been fully vaccinated against the coronavirus. Monday, the state health department opened up vaccinations to those 65 and older. Hoosiers in that age group comprise 22.5% of the population, but account for just over 64% of hospitalizations and more than 93% of COVID-19 deaths. Long-term care residents, first responders, and healthcare workers, as you know, are also eligible to get the vaccine at no cost. Appointments can be made right now by going to the website ourshot.in.gov or by calling 211.
Well, Raphael, with more Hoosiers getting vaccinated, you may be wondering if you can stop social distancing and start going back to hugging or sitting close to your families and friends. So working for you, we did take those questions to health experts here. They recommend against socializing in large groups even after you're vaccinated against COVID-19. Dr. Christopher Belcher is the infection prevention medical doctor with Ascension St. Vincent. He says a week or two after the second shot, people have reached pretty good immunity against the virus, but he says there's still a chance that you can catch it or that you can still spread it.
And we don't know with the vaccine if people are able to still spread the disease, and we may be asymptomatically spreading it around. So lots and lots of concerns with vaccinated people, throwing caution to the wind.
Also, Dr. Belcher says that he's concerned about the vaccines not being as effective against the new variants of the virus.
And speaking of those new variants, Lauren, at least 32 states, including Indiana, are reporting cases of the COVID-19 variants. CDC officials say there are at least 471 cases of the strains first reported in the UK, South Africa, and Brazil. Most of the cases are the more contagious variant first detected in the UK. That variant is most prevalent in Florida, California, New York, and Michigan. The strain that was first detected in South Africa was found in 2 people in South Carolina and 1 in Maryland and Minnesota. Recently reported a case of the strain first linked to Brazil. Raphael?
Hiring Hoosiers is WRTV's commitment, Megan, to help you find successful employment every single day of the week. And the struggle is real when it comes to finding and keeping jobs during this pandemic. WRTV's Troy Washington is live this morning with more on a group helping young people develop a career path. Troy, good morning.
Good morning. Youth Employment Services, also known as YES, they are helping young people ages 16 through 24 get and keep a job, and they're willing to build with them. We talked with one man who says he's been able to pursue a career in truck driving through the program.
People want to move forward, but they don't know what step to take or what to do first. When you got somebody there to help you, help you figure out what's a good step to take. Especially even sometimes when you take the wrong step or you figure out that that's not for you or you need somewhere to fall back on, they're there to help. So it's like, I feel like it changed lives.
Now, this program is for those who are already out of school and looking for a career path. Now, if you don't know exactly where you're looking to go, they just need you to have some passion and they can work with you. Reporting live downtown, I'm Troy Washington, WRTV.
Troy, thank you. $1.7 trillion. That's roughly the amount of outstanding federal student loan debt here in the United States. WRTV's own Kelsey Anderson is joining us now with what the government is doing and how that could impact your payments. Kelsey.
Whether your federal student loan debt is enough to buy a small house or a small SUV, those payments and interest have been put on pause for the last 10 months, and that will continue through September.
So I think the pause is great, and it needs to be done for as long as things are shut down and people can't make a good living, like they can't go out and do their jobs.
Brad Karen is a PhD student at Indiana University. He says in 5 years of schooling, he's racked up quite a bit of debt, and the pause of his federal loans has been nice, but it didn't cover his private loans.
So it was kind of a mixture of, oh, great, some of my loans I don't have to worry about, but the others, like, full price, let's go.
The Trump administration began the pause on federal student loans in March when the pandemic began, and President Biden requested it be continued through September, interest-free. Payments for the nearly $1.7 trillion in student loan debt are currently set to resume in October. Now, on top of the pause in payments, President Biden is proposing a $10,000 forgiveness for all federal student loan borrowers, something Karen thinks is a step in the right direction.
The student loan forgiveness, I think the idea is good. I don't think in principle or in practice it's good enough.
His main concern is that the proposal doesn't address private student loans or federal graduate student loans. I also spoke with Jeremiah Wheatley, an area firefighter going through the Adult Accelerated Program at University of Indianapolis. He believes it shouldn't be someone else's burden to pay for his volunteer student loan debt.
My area that I work in, a lot of the individuals that I serve in the public aren't going to be able to attend college, at least without scholarships or other assistance. So I don't feel it necessary that they should be burdened with my choice of going into adult education and trying to better myself later on down the road.
Now, both gentlemen agree that the problem starts in high school and there should be career planning to know if college is the right path for each student. They also say the problem comes from colleges charging too much for tuition. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you so much. So how can you make the most out of this pause on student loans? Experts say if you're still able to make the payments, your pre-pandemic payments that is, you should continue to do so, and then some if possible. If there's no interest being collected right now, payments would go directly to what you owe. Megan?
Lauren, an event that empowers Black artists to tell their stories is providing more than a platform in 2021. It's also providing all the money needed to bring those stories to life. Onyx Fest is an annual theater festival in Indianapolis. It's exclusively for African American playwrights, and this year the organization will award full production grants to 5 people. The winners will receive royalties along with stipends to pay actors, directors, and others who work in the show. Onyx Fest 2021 director Vernon Williams encourages playwrights of all experience levels to apply.
We want people to use their imagination and their experiences to help paint that kaleidoscope of the Black experience that should be reflected more on stage. So don't let the fact that you haven't done this before, or you've only done it on a small scale, or you've only written for church plays or for school plays. Don't let any of that stop you, because some of the best talent is yet to be discovered.
Very talented people in the community, and the grant also includes money for set design, props, costume, makeup, theater rental, and marketing. A jury of theater professionals will read each script and pick 5 winners. You can apply at onyxfest.com. The deadline is February 28th. For more information about the requirements, just go to WRTV.com and click on this story. Time now is 5:42. Let's get a check of the weather with Todd Clausen.
All right, as you walk off the bus stop here with the kids this morning, or you're just walking out the door to head off to work, you're going to need to bundle up as it's a chilly one out there. Temperatures are sitting in the low 20s in many locations, but when you factor in the wind, it's in the single digits. As the kids come home, 31 degrees. The best chance of sunshine is actually this morning compared to this afternoon. By this afternoon, we're bringing in more in the way of cloud cover. So temperatures today are just a little bit below normal. It's the same thing for tomorrow. Our average high is 36 degrees. Thursday, we spike up into the 40s, and that's when our next storm system arrives, and that's going to bring mainly rain to the area. But after that storm system, it's going to unlock some of the coldest air that we have seen so far this winter season. Will be in the 20s for Friday and Saturday, and then by Sunday, potentially only in the single digits for afternoon highs. We'll talk about how cold the wind chills could get this weekend as well, coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you so much. The wait for festivals and other outdoor events may soon be over. Straight ahead, when health experts say we could see large outdoor gatherings return once again.
And Raphael, we're keeping a close eye on traffic this morning. Want to take you here near the downtown area at a mess. We are monitoring on the southbound lanes of I-65. This is as you're getting towards the North Split, so you're heading past West Street and MLK. You're going towards Meridian Street. We do have a semi-crash in this area. And it looks like at this time, everything is at a complete standstill. So we have backup starting right now. I would get off the interstate sooner if you can before you get into the downtown area and head into the North Split. We'll continue to monitor this throughout the morning and keep you updated.
Proven to kill COVID-19.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is 5:46 and here's a look in the downtown area as you're traveling southbound on I-65. This is the view near West Street and MLK as you're heading into the downtown area. We have a truck crash there and it's creating quite the backup. As you can see, multiple crews here on the scene, and it looks like all lanes are slowed or stopped at this hour. It looks like things are starting to shift to the right side of the interstate. We know this is impacting traffic as you're heading into the north split from southbound I-65, so avoid that area if you can. If you take that getting into downtown, you may want to get off at somewhere north of this spot. We'll continue to monitor this and let you know if we get any details or updates on when things could be clear. A nationwide mask mandate is now in effect for all public transportation. That includes planes, trains, buses, boats, taxis, and ride shares. This order from the CDC and President Biden went into effect at 11:59 Monday night. Anyone caught violating it could face fines or be denied boarding. The Department of Homeland Security has already given TSA workers the authority to enforce the new rule at airports across the nation. Delta says it has banned about 900 people from flights for refusing to follow its mask policy. United Airlines has more than 600 people on its no-fly list. Megan?
Mask up. Well, several concerts, events, and other outdoor activities have already been canceled this year due to the pandemic, of course. Yesterday, the Athletic Club Foundation of Indianapolis announced it is once again canceling the St. Patrick's Day Parade and the Shamrock Run and Walk in downtown Indy. That's the second year in a row. And just last week, officials announced the cancellation of Coachella and Stagecoach concerts. But Dr. Anthony Fauci is hopeful that things could get back to normal sooner than we think if vaccination efforts improve.
As we get into the summer, I believe you're going to be able to see that you'll have spectators at the game. They may not be crowded next to each other, seat by seat. It may be separated by a few seats. But I feel confident that if we do it right, we will be able to get spectators to some degree at sports events that are outdoor.
Dr. Fauci also said he believes herd immunity can be reached by the fall if 70 to 80% of the population is vaccinated. Raphael?
So Megan, SpaceX continuing to make history. The company is launching its first commercial mission to space with an all-civilian crew. You see, 37-year-old businessman Jared Isaacman is funding the multi-million-dollar trip for himself and 3 others. One seat is already taken. It was given to a frontline healthcare worker who is also a St. Jude ambassador. 2 other seats are also up for grabs, and you could be the lucky winner. How? All you have to do is donate at least $10,000 to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, which of course is a great cause, or launch an online store through Isaacman's company. That's Shift4Shop. It's not clear yet when the winners will be chosen. The launch date will be sometime at the end of the year. Todd Clausen, if I could just raise $10,000 for a great cause, I would be on that mission, and Mrs. Sanchez would not miss me, I don't think. I think she'd be happy for me to head off into space. I'm just saying.
I'm sure she would miss every minute that you are gone, Raphael. Every single minute.
No, I doubt it. I doubt it.
I mean, then you're just going to have to call your son home when it snows so he can come and clean the driveway for her before she goes off to school. So she's used to that now. All right, outside right now, we're dealing with pretty quiet conditions weather-wise, which is good news. It's cold, but it's February, right? So you have to bundle up no matter what. And we don't have any snow that's out there that's falling from the sky. Obviously, there wasn't a lot of melting that took place yesterday. And so you're going to have to contend with the potential of a few slick spots out there. 22 in the city right now at the airport in Indianapolis. Feels like 12 with this northwest wind at 9 miles per hour. 20 in Martinsville. 18 though as you work your way from Tipton to Muncie, and then 16 is the current temperature as you make your way into the Richmond area. But this is what it feels like. Feels like 8 right now in Muncie. 12 is what it feels like right now in Indianapolis. Our highs today get up into the low 30s, but I'm just going to show you the wind chill values here, and this is what it's really going to feel like if you are out and about throughout the day. It'll feel like the teens here throughout much of the morning hours, and then it'll feel like the low 20s once we get into the afternoon. So it is going to be one of those days that the actual temperature is going to be about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than what it'll really feel like outside throughout the afternoon. A little bit of high thin cloud cover on the western side of the state, otherwise clear skies, and of course it is Groundhog Day here today, and there's a good chance at least the local groundhogs could see its shadow, but we'll have to see how that all plays out Puxatawney, Pennsylvania, they're dealing with some snow, so probably not there. Here's this major storm system on the East Coast. The heaviest of the snow is starting to wind down, but still very, very windy conditions and some coastal flooding issues with that storm system as it slowly makes its way off to the north. It will not impact us here any longer in central Indiana. Temperatures are in the 20s this evening if you have plans, and then for the day tomorrow, it's not a bad day. We start off in the teens and 20s once again. Tomorrow features a good amount of sunshine from start to finish, so that'll give us the opportunity not only with the sun but the above normal, or the above freezing temperatures rather, to melt away some of the snow that we have. And then we'll get into Thursday. Whatever snow doesn't melt tomorrow, we'll have a good chance of getting rid of most of it, I think, on Thursday. Temperatures will climb up into the 40s, and then we'll also deal with some rain showers moving through Thursday afternoon and into Thursday evening, with a little bit of snow coming in on the backside of this system. It's not a major storm system for us. It's mainly going to be rain, but again, towards the tail end on Friday, we could have some snow showers across the area. And then we get to the weekend, Saturday 26, but it's really Sunday and Monday that the core of the Arctic air comes in here. We are below zero Sunday morning, below zero on Monday morning. Wind chill values could be as cold as minus 30 degrees, Lauren, across parts of the area.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Want to get to a traffic alert for drivers heading into the downtown area along southbound I-65. Here's a view from our INDOT traffic camera here at West Street and MLK. This is north of the downtown area, and you can see the delays as you're traveling southbound. It's pretty much at a standstill, and then there is some movement there on the right side of the interstates in the lanes getting around this. Now, we do have another view of this overturned semi truck that we're monitoring here. You can kind of see it from our tower camera on its side there. This is blocking the collector ramp as you're trying to get onto Ohio Street. This is also an area where we had overnight construction, so you should be able to continue southbound I-65 once you get through that. But as you can see, it's maybe one or two cars at a time. Things are very congested. We'll continue to monitor this and keep you updated, and we'll have more news just after the break. And we're now getting a live look right now from our live drive vehicle, and our photographer Shay Goodpaster hopped out here on the shoulder of southbound I-65. You can see that semi-trailer that flipped over to its side. This is the southbound lanes of I-65 as you're trying to get on the collector ramp to Ohio Street. This is impacting traffic at the North Split and heading into downtown. Quite a few delays as drivers there are trying to get past this. It looks like one left lane is open, a few cars getting through there. We'll continue to keep you updated as we learn more, but expect delays if that's part of your commute, Todd.
All right, make sure you look it up before you get out on the roadways here this morning. The good news is as you take to the roadways, we have no additional precipitation out there. We are dealing with quiet conditions on radar. However, temperatures are still below freezing, and so there's definitely some slick spots out there on the roadways left over from all the precipitation we saw over the weekend. So just give yourself some extra time. Kokomo 15 right now, Muncie 16 degrees, down to 20 now in Indianapolis. And some morning sunshine gives way to just mostly cloudy skies this afternoon. The good news is no precipitation here throughout the day today, and temperatures that'll be topping off right around 33 degrees. We'll talk more about your extended forecast and the big blast of Arctic air heading our way for the weekend coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.